The prosecution hereby calls its first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He's not. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. I don't mean to insult Kazuma or anything, but like, I've played all of these games so far. I know how it goes at this point. I don't need you, Kazuma. Love you, but don't need you. Well, this is my first piece of advice, is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Well, if you rein in that crazy hairband and control the cold stares first. Oh! Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnaval. Sir, you're leaking red water. You're alright. You seem to be coughing up some, I think he got shot. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurrence occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. I will shove that fan so far up your backside if you do not let me do my thing. Aspiring maybe, but aspiring. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I have a question. Why is he facing away from his food? Because even when they were conversing, he was facing towards his food. And when you're eating, why would your chair be faced that far away from your food? Even if you were having a conversation with someone, you would adjust yourself, not so much your chair. That's fishy. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Yes! Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Ugh. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something a waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I'm gonna wait for him to finish his testimony. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, your parents tell you to study. You're the kind of man who will diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never would have gotten into Yume University otherwise. Oh no! Please, for the love of Lord, adjust your stance. It very, very much looks like you're wielding something other than a sword. But you can't always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Objection! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson was not alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? Dude, I hope you crack your skull like an egg with that stupid fan. But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! Actually, I have a rough plan of the restaurant, as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, a clearly very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. Smack. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. Let me have a look at that thing. So, the court has heard a precis of the case. Hang on, let me have a look. Gimme. I don't know what those words mean. I want to turn the card over, though. How do I do that? Head waiter's business card. So, the court has... Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Yeah. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have a small reprieve in some terms of inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details to the court, but I must warn the defence if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Una momento, por favor. He, waiter guy, said there was no one else around. How is there suddenly a sworn witness if there was no one else around before? Make up your bloody mind. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? Push! What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face, is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocent by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Oh. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Ooh. Indeed. Prosecutor Euchi, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Swish. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Jesus. Okay, these were in the video, but the other dude lied then, because he said there was no one else. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Insurgent. Yes, sir. No, sir. Reporting for... Oh, okay. Yes and no, sir. Yes, no, sir. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employers a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Ratsute, a humble premises in the second district. Curio Korecuta at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier, what an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Le Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets Le Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see, although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what only can be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black-uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is a decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Dude, put the pot down. Why is he vibrating? Why is the old man vibrating? I don't appreciate that. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant whilst having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a— why has he got a different pot? Of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. From the back, the cowardly little weasel. Oh, that's wrong. I can push on that one. I can present because the bullet was shot from the front and it never came out the other end. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Is his curio the gun? I know. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! The wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. Why has he got a bloody knife? Stop giving people knives! But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Yunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I think that's the curio. I thought that perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang! Drama. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. Why is the old man vibrating? There is. Yunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Come on, I know how to cross-examine. Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. Yes, there is! The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt, but it's wrong! Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this— No! Objection! Excuse me? Got, something to say. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean the defense demands the right to a cross-examination? Yeah? Dear me, let me guess, the Hachi-Machi headband boy next to you told me to do it. How pathetic. I'm not going to hit myself on the face. How did he know? The prosecution objects. It's a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? Objection! The defense is asserting the right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it, it is irrelevant. Well, I'm making my own sound effects. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination on the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Good thing I do. Is it obvious you have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements? How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that soldier has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let go, Ryunosuke, don't let them beat you. Alright then! It's all or nothing. Okay, I'm really having problems with the old jiggly dude. I'm gonna save as well, just in case I cock stuff up. Save. 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 Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Right. So it's left button to press. Myself. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. Observe the black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Do I press him first, or do I present? I'm gonna press him first. Be like, hey, you sure? So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... Ugh! I've had just enough of your sauce, cadet. What else? Who else do you see around here in a black uniform? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It is you, you little weasel. You unloaded a firearm on that man from behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me. I know, I'm not... It's something that sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. I know what it is. I've been burned too many times by this game by presenting evidence and then being like, well, no punishment. You have to press him first. I pressed him now. If you could just find an inconsistency with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust in the witnesses. Okay. It cannot be an accident. There have been too many spot-on innuendos. There is no way this is an accident. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it? Come on, there is no way. And with his thrusting and the holding and the... I know what the answer is. I do. Yes, I know. There are lies. I know how to expose it. And that's just telling me what I did before. I know there's something. I know where the inconsistency is. When I mentioned in one of the preview videos to this, where you have to like tap, 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 tap to get through the options to get to the thing you want, this was this exact scenario. Just be careful. Yes, I know that. Penalties mean stuff goes to fudge. Alright, give it a go. Come on. Dude, stop grasping yourself. Okay, you were eating steak, you were looking for stuff. Firearm was discharged. And from the back. So I'm going to present. Present. Objection! Ooh, the music stopped. That means I did something right. Oh, he's sweating. This was what I meant. The people change as they break down. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print. This is quite an aggressively sexual thing. I did not realise. Photographic print in my moustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. I know what I want to say. Just say it. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kasuma, what? What are you talking about? It is apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense. There is a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesanosa. Jar Jar Binks. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. Objection! But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Aww, baby! Probably just broke his neck. What was that? Did his kid fire on accident? Suddenly there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir, at the juncture that would appear to be inspected. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on delicious Le Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Ugh, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. I'm just going to move myself over here because there are comments there that I didn't realise. There we go. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. Swish! So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. The university cadet here. He was pointing a firearm directly at the victim's back. Yes! But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. But where is the gun in the court record? I want to see that. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Oh, dude, you have just lost any dignity you may have maintained. Indeed, the Hoei Era Kaban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place it in my bosom pocket, a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not, but I was presented with a little alternative, and then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, It was there no more. It simply vanished. The koban vanished? Hunting around under the tables, I was in case the mishap had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was only concerned with the finding of my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Kaban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. I am sure everyone present is aware this case demands swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.